All right, I don't know who is watching this, but I'm keep doing it because I have no viewer. So sad. But anyway, I'm doing this for myself. Just keep me up to date, with the general market. Anyway, let's just get to it. All right. So according to the case number now, we haven't doubled this week. So the curve is somewhat flat. We close to double, but we haven't yet. So I mean, we actually the curve is flattening, but the depth rate double though, more than double. So that's something to look forward to. But I don't think at this point these number matter anymore because the market definitely went crazy last week. It went up again. I was expecting to be I was expecting to go up, but it's consolidate in a range, but it kind of went above that. But that how market works. It's unpredictable. You could have an idea and see what happened. So at this point right now, let's go to the pro and con. um you know the pro thing right now is that we're gonna have the economy open up by May 1st. I mean, it is possible. I mean, you could open up by then, but whether or not people are gonna start coming out again and start spending, that's the biggest question. You could start opening up again. At this point, I mean, behavior takes like maybe 21 days to change. We've been stuck in here for, I mean, is it nearly 2 months? I'm not exactly sure. I don't know what's going on at this point. Um, yeah, so I mean, at this point, we haven't had anything to encourage people to come back out. I mean, we could open the economy, but who will go out at this point right now? Since we haven't had a proper treatment yet for it. Vaccine is still on the way. I mean, some I heard some news that they're gonna have like human trial within like a few months from now already. But I mean, vaccine we not gonna have. To be honest, if anything, the fastest you could get maybe like how about 6 months you're gonna have a vaccine, and then we have to produce all the doses and then implement a way to giving to people. We have like 300 million people here, so it's not gonna be anytime quickly. Even if we have the vaccine by 6 week, 6 months, we're gonna take another few months to get the manufacture, and then I think it's not as like 6 months to get everyone vaccinated, if anything. And then who gonna pay for and all that stuff? That's not a big question. But at this point, vaccine I don't think is in the is in the pipeline at this point. Treatment, I think this could come out within the next week or two. I don't know what gonna be good. They have a couple of treatment. There's the mycin, fluoroquinolone, with zinc, and then we have this like the I forgot the parasite drugs. They just approve it, but it's in vitro only, so I don't think that's gonna be count at any time at all. So treatment, if anything, positive news probably like within 2 weeks from now, if anything, I'm assume. Okay, so anything right now, and then if to be honest, if you really want to open up the economy, antibody testing that needed to be there, because you don't know who's infected or not. Some might already have been infected because a lot of people do not show any symptom. For some people. So I mean, if that's the case, you don't even need the vaccine for some. That's the silver lining. But also there is another situation that people do get reinfected, and some people do not have a high antibody count once they got infected. But yet they got through the disease, but they still get very low antibody. So that's another situation. Yeah, that can add into the complication of creating this vaccine, because you might not, some people get infected, but they do not have a strong immune, like the antibody to counteract it if they get reinfected again. So that's cause reinfecting, and it is happening in South Korea. So that's one thing. So all these things here, I mean, it still fall out. I mean, except for the treatment. That's That at least that could come within a month, 2 weeks to a month from now. Okay, and then this one is a big thing. Fed buying everything. Buy stock, buying junk bond, whatever they're gonna do. I mean, at this point, I think this might be the Fed put. At this point, in the short term, I believe that is the Fed put. That's why we went up. Beside the Bernie thing that he quit his campaign, so we don't have to deal with the socialist shit no more. That's the thing. But at this point, I mean, the Fed buying everything does pop up the thing, and then they just came out on Friday or something with like 2.3 trillion more dollar that's gonna buy. So that means they're buying everything. So at this point, I mean, I'm not sure what they're trying to do right now, but we'll see. I mean, they try to prevent shit from bankrupt, So that's what I could say. Okay, so that's the pro at this point. I mean, nothing really come much at this point. And it's probably 2 weeks from now. So this week, not much for the pro. Okay, and then the con. The con right now is earnings season. Earnings season, we know is it gonna be bad. Is it pricing? I don't know. Okay, so the bank gonna be starting this week, okay, and next week, and then we have like transportation and stuff coming up next week, so we could start seeing stuff. And then GDP is in 2 weeks, so so right now, this week, what we have to look at is earnings. So that's one thing I could say that's gonna be affecting the market, okay. And then the GDP, I mean, GDP going to be bad, but how bad? That's another question. And then the projection of the next quarter GDP. So that's another thing, all right? So now we have things that's happened this week, next week. Second wave, I think it is starting to happen right now. Part of China, I don't know how reliable my source is, but there's some part of China, they are closing them down at this point, So we don't know what happened because this virus has a incubation time of up to like 27 days. So they just reopened the Wuhan last week or so. So if anything, other places too. So it's gonna take at least 3 weeks for some of the stuff to happen. Okay, so right now we're just watching. So that's something possible. Food shortage here. This one thing is a possible problem. Smithfield gonna shut down the pork plant. So food shortage. I mean, I'm talking about more like meat. So if you're a vegetarian, congratulations. You don't have to worry about that. But I think we might have that too because California, like we have Idaho, some of the places that are producing food. This thing does does interfere with it. So I mean, we're not going to run out of food definitely, but we're going to have some food. And then if you do go to the grocery, especially Asian grocery, you do see like increase in prices, inflation in some way, I guess because of demand, especially for vegetable. All right, I don't see it at an American store because I buy this stuff on sale. So I mean, I wouldn't know much. I'm not. I just start shopping like a month since last month. So well, I do go shopping, but last month I started to like look at the price and everything to get familiar with stuff. So I mean, that thing is a concern. I think 2 months from now, if this still continue, if we not open in May, and if we do open in May, and then we have some kind of like a second wave right away, because I think we're gonna definitely have a second wave because freedom of choice of shit we do, that's gonna be a problem. I think we're definitely gonna have a second wave. So that's the worst thing about this. So so food shortage, and then we'll have second wave. That gonna emphasize that a lot. 2-3 months from now, if this still going on and we not have this whole thing rest like at least under control, then I think this might be a problem. Company failures, I think this will happen. Not right now. I think looking 3 to 6 months from now, to next quarters, I think that's gonna be a problem because right now people don't have money. Like the majority of Americans don't have money. Even if you open up the economy, what are you going to spend on? Credit? And that's going to be a problem. They can't. If they spend on credit, they cannot pay it. Well, guess what? Financial problem. A lot of people not paying rent. Mortgages not paying. So think about it. Going to be car loan. That's going to be all those things going to be like collapsing. So it's not going to happen right now, but within maybe 3 to 6 months, I think it's going to be a huge problem because I don't think we lost like 13 million jobs or something within like 2 3 weeks. So think about that. I mean, some of these people will not get the job back, okay, because we not going to have that stimulate. So this thing is not going to just bounce back right away. So at this point right now, I think everything is short term, okay. So at this point, let's go to the chart, okay. That's better. Okay, so this is the Dow Jones. Okay, Dow Jones is actually decent. It bounced back very quickly up to like, I don't know, 36%. You know, let's draw a Fibonacci retracement here. Wow. Okay, it's bounced 50% from the high. So yeah, so at this point is the reflection point, and right here is a support, as a resistance, not a support. I'm sorry. Okay, so I'm assuming at this point, if the earning is not too bad as expected, we might pop up to this point, and then we'll consult and we'll see what happened. I draw out a trend line here. If you start out, if you have a point of, you know, of 2 points to start a trend line, you could do it, and then you could, you know, create a channel. So at this point right now, this is the up channel right now. It's kind of steep, so I don't think this channel gonna help, to be honest with you. But at this point, if you're gonna say where it will go, possibly, you know, the 50 days moving average right here, and you know, this is the resistance also. So we'll see what happened, but this is the channel. This is possible where it's gonna move up in, you know, in the channel. So that's a possible move right here. I don't think it's go up to 200-day moving average, but if, you know, if we do have some good news and maybe the treatment stuff, it's a possibility. We'll see what happened, but at this point, I think right here is where we're gonna be landing. All right, if we do move up, or maybe we start to going down again, we consolidate like this, and then we'll see what happened after that. So that's the Dow Jones. Nasdaq is strong. Nasdaq crosses and close above the 200-day moving average here. So I mean, that's one thing. So I mean, it went back. You know, investor would like to see it above the 200-day moving average, and it's close above that. But it is right next to the, you know, right next, it's above. It went above the support, the resistance. Right now, it's on that top of the channel. You know. So we'll see in the 50 days moving average. So right now, the Nasdaq is leading in some way up to the upside. That's what I'm seeing right now. Let's see, what is the Fibonacci retracement here? You know what? I thought it was strong, but it's not. It's actually at the 50% retracement also. I mean, it's stronger in the sense of it break out of the downtrend line, it move above the 200-day moving average, but is actually at this 50% also. So it's not, I guess it's the same as the Dow, bounced 50%. The only thing is that, you know, technically it looked kind of better because it's kind of close above the 200-day moving average, and then the only half right now is the 50-day moving average, and then the next one is a minor resistance here, but I doubt it's gonna go up there, but we'll see. We never know. But tech not gonna come out. Well, tech gonna come out soon, in maybe like 2-3 weeks from now, earning wise. Yeah, but so right now Nasdaq technically looks strong, but it's only bounced back. It's also bounced back 50% too. So that's something to take into consideration. Okay. So let's see IWM. Okay. So this is like small cap here. You know, this is, you know, it was weak. Let's see, I think it's still weak. Oh, okay. So it's a 38%. I mean, it's strong on Friday. It was strong, but you know, from the top down, it's only rebounds 38%. So it's still considered as weak. But it's closed very decently. I guess because the Fed came out and said they're gonna buy everything, so I guess that gonna help support them. And then the volume. You know what? I forgot to look at the volume. Volume is strong here. The buying volume for this is really high compared to the other day too. Yeah, that's something I did not look at. I forgot about the volume. Let's see the Dow volume. Okay, look at the volume for the Dow Jones here. It's not that high. It's actually low compared to this day. Well, this selling is actually selling, but the volume is below average right now, as I could see here. Okay, yeah. Let's see Nasdaq. I forgot about the volume. Huh. Okay, so this is kind of like selling here, more selling than buying. Look at these buying volume day, buying day, buying day. Volume are low, but selling is kind of high here. You can see that. So I mean, we are fighting. Let's see IWM. There's a lot of buying here, like when we was down here. So I mean, I'm not sure. The IWM might be gonna continue strong up to here, maybe up to the 50% mark. I mean, it's probably gonna go up to here. Well, right now this is the channel that I created. Yeah, so I mean, it looks strong, especially the volume. Volume say a lot more than the Dow Jones and the Nasdaq. All right, let's see. Go to the IYT here. Let's see how much of retracement did it get. I'm going to do right there. Okay, it's above 38%. Okay, so I mean, it's stronger than the thing, but it's, well, it didn't close up there. Close volume. I mean, this one I couldn't really say much, but the volume is above average here. But I don't know how the IYT volume is, but right here, I mean, is kind of elevated a little bit. At this one, the selling, look at this selling right here, very low in selling, but then buying coming in. The pop back is a little bit more volume, so we'll see transportation. I mean, at this point, if the Fed gonna bail them out, then I guess the airplane part are gonna be fine. All right, I mean, this kind of support the Dow theory. Transportation go with the Dow, but I think that's where it's gonna stop, the 50 days moving average. And coincidentally, it's also with the resistance here, and in the channel. All right, let's go last but not least, these SPYs. Okay, we did bounce to the 50% mark. Okay, so just so you know from the top, buying is not, the volume is not that much here, and this is a indecisive. This could be a bad candle if we close below here. That a reversal formation, evening star, if we have this some kind of candle like this. So it's a possible reversal, but we don't have enough volume here. That's the only thing. The volume kind of like timid. All right, and that's an undecisive candle. Yeah, so at this point right now, I mean, if we do go up, I think this is where we're going to be up, and then we're just going to consolidate, and we'll see what good news is going to come out. Treatment, vaccine. But if earnings come out really bad, then worse than expected, then we might see a retracement. But at this point, until it breaks this down, this uptrend line, and we'll see what happens. So at this point right now, I mean, this next week we just start earning, so I don't expect much. So I think this is the range right here. It's gonna be in this range, in around 2900, and in this channel right here that I'm drawing. So if anything, 2600, because right here it's gonna be a minor support here. Okay, so expecting that I don't think it's gonna be bad this week. I think it's gonna be in the range. All right, I could be wrong though, so just so you know. Anyway, guys, that is all. I think we are waiting to make a decision here. We're gonna maybe consolidate and make a decision, and we'll see what happens. All right, guys, thanks for watching, but no one is watching though, so it's okay. All right, bye, good luck, happy trading.